Reopening the happiest place on earth with some major changes. Walt Disney World Resort in Florida welcoming back visitors at 2 of its 4 theme parks after shuttering for nearly 4 months due to the coronavirus. The park's opening with temperature checks, reduced capacity, social distancing, and required face masks. But this comes as Florida faces a record number of coronavirus cases with more than 15,000 in just 24 hours. That was a new record. I want to bring in former Walt Disney World Resort Vice President of Operations, Lee Cockerell. Lee, good morning.
Good morning.
Your instant reaction to Disney World's decision to still open amid this flood of cases in that state?
Yeah, well, I think what happened, everything was going fine. The state was clear, the cases were going down, and they started toward the opening, and it's like a city. Once you start down that path and bring everybody back and all the operations are ready to go and you fired it up and you booked all the guests, you're kind of in a quandary as, okay, now what? And I think the guests are going to tell us whether we opened too early or not. We'll see next week when see how bookings are for the hotels and start coming in, because we always know the guests always give us the answer. They tell us, did you open too early? They won't come. If we didn't, they'll start showing up, and particularly people flying and coming in from New York, Midwest, UK can't even come in right now.
Well, and I was going to, you know what, Lee? But that's the whole point, is that if you fly into Florida from New York or some other states, when you come back, you have to quarantine. Which there's a lot of air traffic between New York and Florida, as you know. But it's also really hot right now in Florida. I mean, it's summer, it's humid. How are they going to handle social distancing in like the stores, the restaurants, when if people don't want to be outside, they're going to need to go inside to cool off? What do they do?
Well, they're going to go in, and I think one thing about Disney, they are very strict about enforcing policies they put in place. I would say if you're going to be anywhere and you want to go to some big place and big crowded place, Disney's probably the safest. I mean, we saw that during hurricanes, saw that at 9/11. And the cast members are well trained in the management to enforce these rules. So I don't think they're going to see too much of this guests pushing back and getting annoyed and violent about it. And so, yeah, people are going to do what they do. And if everybody would behave, we'd be in great shape. Oh,
I think that's a bigger statement than just Walt Disney World, Lee. But I want to bring in my colleague, Maddie Doppler, into this conversation. Maddie.
Cheryl, that's a good point. Lee, I'm curious, when you're talking about Disney, this is a well-run company. Nobody knows how to get the logistics right the way Disney does. Do you think it's a harbinger for other big events, sports events, maybe even schools, all the things that we're talking about that we just don't know the future of right now? Do you think Disney can maybe show some leadership here to get some of these things back reopened?
Well, I think that, and I tell people all the time, I work with people all over the world, even churches, universities, colleges, that they should watch Disney, because first, Disney has the talent. They do have the logistics. They handle 52 million people a year. I mean, absolutely. I always say, go to the expert if you want to learn how to do things. And I've seen things Disney's done that I was not even aware of. They've gone beyond what you would expect. And if you send somebody down there, you'll see it's amazing some of the things that they've thought up to do to send, at least psychologically, send the message, hey, we're doing everything we can. So I would be there if I was another business looking at this.
Good for you. Well, that's a strong testament to your time at Disney. Tom Bevan, would you take your family to Disney?
That's a great question. I don't know. We've been to Disney World a number of times. We love the place. I guess I'd have to ask my wife how comfortable she'd be traveling with all the kids. And that's the question that's facing a lot of folks. Lee, I was going to ask you about, Disney didn't cap the number of people apparently that were allowed in, but is that something that they would consider moving forward perhaps? And a non-related question, how does the NBA's participation down there complicate, managing any sort of outbreaks that might occur?
Well, certainly keeping the NBA people isolated is a key factor, because some of the teams and some of the players in the league have already had the issue. So Yeah, I mean, it's an issue. And as far as limiting the number of people in the parks, Disney is limiting. I don't think they've announced what the limitations are yet, but I know yesterday it was extremely quiet. There were plenty of space. And the key will be as you try to grow the numbers of people coming in and how well you can handle these same measures you've put in place, because volume creates whole new issues.
Lee Cockerell, I certainly appreciate your support of your former employer, and it still is the happiest place on earth, we hope. Lee Cockerell, thank you very much for getting up early, sir. It's nice to see you. Nice to meet you.
Take care.